Welcome to Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas, the official community podcast for the town of Fairview, hosted by the Fairview Economic Development Corporation. On every episode, we spend time getting to know our neighbors and hearing the stories that make our town a community. This is Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. Hey, welcome back, fans, audience, family, friends. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Getting Neighborly here in Fairview, Texas. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, and I'm excited about our guest today. When I found out that Mike was a resident of Fairview, Texas, I got really excited because I've enjoyed watching the Allen American team, especially through the pandemic, how you've handled that as a team. You've just done a phenomenal job. You've had a phenomenal year. My family loves to come over and get to watch games.
And we still have a few games left
On the ice, so that's
here
awesome.
in the playoffs, so we'll talk about that in a little bit, yeah.
So welcome, Mike Waddell, to the show of Getting Neighborly. One of the questions that we always like to ask and want to know is, give me your story. How did you end up in Fairview, Texas?
Born 1969 in the mountains of North Carolina to an attorney, politician, father, and a educator, politician mother. You know, I'm an only child, so I really didn't get a lot of opportunities to argue my case to anybody. It was pretty much their way. And, that went on throughout my career in sports and broadcasting. I played, every sport that you play in high school, and then went on to play football in college. But I was also a passionate, aspiring broadcaster starting in middle school. So I started to intern with the local college, the local newspaper, the local radio station, not getting paid. The only thing I ever got paid was putting in inserts in the local paper, that you put glycerin on your fingers and you'd come out, your hands would be, ashen with all the newspaper ink. But anyway, I knew what I wanted to do early on. I just loved sports, started going to games when I was 9 months old with my dad, and that was our thing. And, it was just, I can't remember not being involved in sports. So fast forward, played football in college, broadcaster at North Carolina, Virginia, Appalachian State, last broadcasting job with the United States Military Academy at West Point. Voice of the Black Knights on WABC in New York. So for a little kid from Brentwood Drive in Newton, North Carolina, to wind up working at Two Penn Station at WABC, broadcasting Army, Navy, sports, and other stuff that we did at West Point, it was just wow. But my dad got sick. I ended up giving him part of my liver in a transplant in 2001. Had to get off the road with broadcasting. It was just it's a rough lifestyle. So I went into administration, worked 5 years at the University of Akron, 5 years at the University of Cincinnati, both for the same guy, a guy that I'd worked with earlier in my career at Virginia. Then became the director of athletics at Towson University for 3 years, but I had 3 presidents in 3 years. Nothing will make you look over your shoulder more than having a different boss every year, especially on a college campus. So I said, yeah, this is fun, but let's go to the SEC. So I go to the SEC, part of the SEC network, ESPN build-up there with the Hogs, and had just finished my 15th month. And then the same guy that I worked with at Virginia and worked for at Akron and Cincinnati calls me and says, hey, I need you to come to the University of Illinois and help me, get some things going in the right direction. He had been there a few years and some things were kind of going haywire. And I said, okay. And it was like, wow. 15 months later, he's unemployed. He gets let go. And then I say, I'm kind of tired of moving around everywhere. I want to get some stability. So if you don't want to go anywhere, the perfect sport to go work is NASCAR, where we did. So you just go in circles all the time.
Right, always turn left, right?
So yeah, so we did that for 2 years as a vice president, working with the Mid-Atlantic tracks, Richmond, Martinsville, and Darlington, but based in Richmond. Really is a totally different way of looking at marketing, and because I've been in college athletics, now I'm in NASCAR, and then I go do pro football, and then I do pro tennis, and now I'm here, and I would probably still be in pro football. Probably would never have left, but my league went belly up, the AAF, in 2019. And then I did tennis for a while, but then it went on COVID. So when Jack Gulati gave me the opportunity to join this organization here in Allen and to move to Collin County, I said, brother, Dave, I got to do this. This is a great place, and everybody's been awesome. And living in Fairview, over here on our street, maybe about a half mile from where we sit right now, it's a great place to live.
Well, we talked about that a little before we hit record was, the fortunate when you live in Fairview, you get that little sense of feeling that you're kind of way out, but you're really not. I mean, we've got llamas and longhorns and just acreage that you can get away and de-stress, but you're like 5 minutes from everything, right? So you're the bus at Allen, you just cross the street, and now all of a sudden you're back into the vibrant economic activity that's Collin County. So tell me a little bit about that. You took the reins early.
Let's talk about that, though, for a second, because you're right about that, because I lived in a lot of suburb, bedroom communities,
right,
outside of New York, outside of Chicago, outside of Cincinnati, outside of Cleveland, outside of Baltimore. I've been in these places, out in Orlando,
right,
which is just crazy, a community. But you want to be close to everything, but you want to be able to, like you say, feel like you've gotten away. This is the best area I've ever been for that. My wife talks about it all the time. We actually know our neighbors here. A lot of those places, we didn't take the time to get to know our neighbors. Now, we had 2 crazy kids and probably didn't want to scare them. But the neighbors, not the kids. But that's the difference here. We know our neighbors here. I live next to a federal law enforcement agent, a welder, and a police officer right across the street from me. So not only am I only, like I say, about a half mile away from City Hall here in Fairview, I'm right across the street from the most beautiful new fire station in the state of Texas. I mean, it's just the pride right there, fire station number 1. And now, I've just got everything's just coming up roses around here. I mean, it's just a great place to be. You're safe.
Well, and that's, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is our full police and fire force at the price that you're paying from a tax standpoint. Obviously, that's how we pay for those things, but you get an incredible amount of civic service for a low price. And I think that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on is knowing each other. I mean, the whole reason we started this podcast was when I started working in Fairview, I just kept meeting these incredible people with backgrounds. Not just, I'm a Texas guy, so I'm used to, people
That's
living
awesome,
and
though.
growing in Texas. But
I'm from North Carolina, so we really don't have a lot. We have Dean Smith, Andy Griffith, and Billy Graham. I mean, not bad.
Right.
Had PTL Club for a while.
Yeah, if you've got, some good company.
Okay. It's okay,
right.
But I mean, it's not like Texas.
Well,
you have Don't Mess with Texas. I mean,
we have a lot
Tex.
of pride in being from Texas.
Yeah.
But one of the things I found
I love North Carolina, though, but Texas is a nice second.
People, the backgrounds here, they're from all over, and it's
No
so
doubt.
fascinating.
No doubt.
The jobs that they've had and the histories that they've done. I mean, and just looking over your career here, and it's really incredible. And you've been able to roll from, one. It seems like you transition fairly well from one position to the other.
You learn after the 8th time of getting hit in the head because my advisor in college, Dave, Dr. Herb Appenzeller, great guy. He just passed away a few years ago, but he told us in our class, my freshman sport management class in 1988, fall of 88, he goes, the world's changing out there. You might change. You might have 5 different jobs before the end of your career. And he died in 2017. And I have a unique path because I had half of my career was as a broadcaster where you got to move to advance. You go from
right.
little market to big. And then with teams, it's the same way. And if you start in college, you have to build up there, but that really doesn't translate to contacts in the pros. So then you got to start again. You move around. I mean, my GM for the pro football team I worked with had been the president of the Seattle Seahawks. His nickname around the NFL was Boxcar Willie. Talking about another good country music guys. We'll talk about that if we're talking about Texas. But daggum, I mean, you just move a whole lot. But that's why it stands out. When you see it, when you feel it, something that's real and not contrived. I've been here just over a year with my daughter doing remote college and my wife. My wife has to drive 20 miles south every day to go to work. No, I like being able to be close. Everything's around here, and the people are just outstanding.
Well, and that's one of the things that we're very hopeful for as new office product is coming online in Fairview. People are not going to just have to live here anymore. Now they're going to have the option of helping, having their companies located in Fairview and have that 5-minute commute where you're right on 75 in the vibrancy that environment gives you, but you can cross the street and now you're back to that, your heartbeat goes down 10 beats just by crossing the road and you have that. But one of the things I'm really have been fascinated about your career is there's this thread it seems like you invest in really good people. Wherever you go, you surround yourself with good people, and are you finding that here in Allen? It seems like you've added some folks to your team. I've kind of been watching you, via LinkedIn, and obviously I keep up with it because of the events. When y'all have games, we have people here in Fairview that eat before and after the game, so it's a big economic promoter, even if it's across the street in Allen, but it still provides a lot of economic activity for folks in Fairview. So tell me about that. Tell me about the folks you've been able to find and the talent. And it seems to have made a difference, has it?
It really has, and we're blessed. It's a nice place to recruit to. Steve Martinson, who's our reigning ECHL General Manager of the Year, is our head coach and general manager. And Steve does a fantastic job, but part of being able to recruit, whether you're in college sports or you're in minor league professional hockey like we are with the Allen Americans, is that you got to have a great place to recruit too. We play in a nice arena, but we live in a great area. And that goes back to, these guys, they could be in Wheeling, West Virginia, or Kalamazoo, Michigan, or Orlando, Florida, or Rapid City, South Dakota. I mean, there are 26 teams in the ECHL that are in 20 states and 2 foreign provinces in Canada. And it's a rough business out there, but when you can come back to a super area like this, you can recruit solid talent. People want to come here and work because you get the full. It's like almost like a Four Seasons type of lifestyle. You have your restaurants, you have your culture, you have your fun activities, and you have your nature. And that's one of the things that I really like is I can go ride my bike and be around trees instead of trying to dodge cars, and that's a big difference. I just get so excited talking about Fairview.
Well, I appreciate it. That's why I have you on the show.
I got this really cool cup, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, I got the Fairview Economic Development tumbler here, and it's cool. It's black. It's sleek. It looks.
Well, that's
really
what happens when you say yes to being a guest on the show.
Well, I mean, you have a great staff too. I mean, we both have great staffs, but yeah, I mean, you got to have people that want to be here, but you got to have people that want to actually get out and engage the area. And if there's one thing that we hope to build forward with the Allen Americans professional hockey team is that, number one, we're a pro team right here in your backyard. You don't need to drive to Dallas to go watch pro sports. You can do it right here in Allen and Fairview, McKinney. I mean, it's all, one great area right here. It's a real, heartbeat of the region to me. But, I think that's the number one key. The number one key is getting the people that want to come here, engage in that community, and then we will, through our Allen Americans Red Lamp Foundation, go out into the community trying to do between 30 and 40 events a year. And getting that type of thing going and really connecting with community, we hope will, make it even more fun for people to come work here as opposed to some other places that just are 9 to 5. We're more of a family.
Well, and I think we mentioned
I get excited talking about it. I mean, my blood pressure goes up because
I can feel it. My energy, I'm bouncing off the wall.
It's an awesome group of people. I mean, Steve Martinson's a great head coach GM. He runs the hockey side. I have great partners over there on the business side, and we're just looking to make those partnerships in the community and really give something back.
Well, and you're a big proponent, like we are, of the local chamber, the staff, Sharon and her group, bringing the business community together in partnership, and really it is working together for the community. Have you found that at Allen Americans that you have the business support, people supporting what you're doing and through your foundation and in believing in the cause?
I believe they do. We have some really strong bedrock partners. We're always looking to grow. And especially about coming out of this pandemic, people are looking for something to do right now, maybe for their family, maybe just for they and their significant other, or maybe they want to come out with a big group from work. We can create that type of experience for you and make you have a really awesome experience whenever you come to the Allen Americans and the Allen Event Center. It's a great area. You can come over here to Boomer Jack's, get something to eat. I love to do that. I'm a big Cafe Gecko guy. I'm coming in here all the time to the Fresh Market too. It's hard, and then I get my game day ties over here at Joseph A. Bank. So I'm a big Fairview guy.
Right. Well, we found that the residents of Fairview are Fairview loyalists, I would call them, where they love to shop and eat and support their own. And so thank you for that. We appreciate
it's my tribe. Absolutely.
Right? We love that. Well, so if you're a business person, if you're talking to a business person and they're looking at being a partner, the Americans, What is it that they get from being a season ticket holder? What is the thing that really makes that go for them?
When you're a season ticket member, and that's a big word for us, we say you're a member, not a holder. If you hold something, you're going to give it away. The way, and our tickets are digital now, so it's going to stay on your phone. But all kidding aside, I mean, when you're a member of our community, we're a year-round lifestyle brand. I don't want to be a hockey team. I don't want to have 36 home games, a few games in the playoffs, and then we go away for a few months and then snap our fingers and expect you right in the middle of high school and college and pro football season to take notice of us again. We've got to be active in the community 24/7. And that's something that we believe strongly in. And for our season ticket members, they get the best seats, they get the best price, they get fast action, and some really cool amenities. This year we did a challenge coin. I'll give you one if you come over to a game. We gave a challenge coin to our season ticket members this year and to anybody who survived this season along with us, because when you're in a COVID season in the minor league level, and
it had to be tough.
You're traveling all over the place. You're playing the same few teams. We played, I think, 7 total teams this year.
Oh, wow.
Over so far 70 games. So that gets old. You get tired of seeing the same people come in, but our fans have stuck in there with us, and we're going to reward them with a coin like that. But then we do monthly events as well, Dave, where we engage our season ticket members every month out of the year and try to do more and more things for them. That's going to gain momentum now here that we're coming out of COVID and go back to doing the things that we do best, hopefully, with the Allen Americans Professional Hockey Club, and that's go out, engage the community, and make it fun when you come to a game that you want to come back.
So connecting people and the relationships, that's really what our business, even in economic development, every place has streets, water, sewer. Everybody has the infrastructure and the site. So what sets apart one community from another is its ability to connect with its residents. Obviously, that's why we're doing the show, but it sounds like that is a very big part of what has allowed you to be successful, especially here in Allen, is connecting those businesses that are, your members.
It has, and especially when you're coming in new from out of state and really didn't know anybody. I never even came to Allen and interviewed for the job. I did everything over Zoom and in Florida, where the owner lives part of the year. So yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that no matter what I need, it literally, I used to live outside of West Point, New York, when I was with the Academy. And we used to joke all the time that we were 30 minutes from everything in the world and 25 minutes away from anything, because there was nothing around West Point. I mean, no economic development around the Academy at all. Here, it's almost, we talked about this the other night just out on our street with our neighbors. We were saying, you got everything here. And it's all really within 5 to 10 minutes. If I really want it, if I need to stretch my cultural boundaries, I go about 11 miles north and I go to Buc-ee's, because that's the greatest place for jerky that I found in Texas so far. But I don't really find myself going south much. I might go a little east-west or north, but I'm just not really going south. I like it here, and if we need to go to the airport or something like that, it's there. But, everything else you have is right here in Fairview.
Right.
Well, my neighbor calls it Fair Vegas. I don't know if, we could change
I've
the
not heard
identity.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, that may be a new ad campaign or something.
I'm telling
I can
you,
see
Fair
some ads.
Vegas right there, man. It's right here. The glitz, the glitter, the nonstop. What happens in Fair Vegas stays in Fair Vegas.
Well, we promote the
awesome
Longhorns and the llamas and the horses around. But I have not done Fair Vegas
Circus. You might get WinStar to maybe expand down here. Texas ever legalizes a casino. It's going to be right here in Fair Vegas.
That would be an interesting economic development project, I think.
There you go.
Well, Mike, it's been great.
This is Super Dave podcast.
Man, I'm telling you, this has been like a roller coaster. What a high energy. I really appreciate you giving us some time and a few minutes of I know how crazy busy you must be. You got a playoff game tonight, right? The show we're shooting, obviously, you might be listening to this 3 years from now. It might not make any sense, but I know you're incredibly busy. We appreciate you stopping in. We are big proponents of what you're doing in Allen.
Thank you.
We think regionally. I know that we
need to do a Fairview night.
Right?
We'd
love that.
We need to do a Fairview. Fairview does not stand in the shadows to Allen, to McKinney, to anybody else.
Hey, I love it.
Second fiddle to no one.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll get Mayor Lesnar to. We're going to talk about that because that would really be fun.
We can sit down and we can do it. It can be on a Sunday. We can bring everybody out there. We have 9 Sundays next year that we're dedicating to community causes and nonprofits again through.
Oh, that would be awesome.
What we're doing with Anna and the Red Lamp Foundation here at the Allen Americans. It's just an exciting time right now, and I can't wait to welcome everybody over. And again, get out and meet your neighbors here in Fairview. If we're running down the road or driving our bikes, on the trail or something, say hello. I'm the guy who always says hello. I know that shocks you. Being as low energy as I am, but that's,
I can't imagine you doing that.
But that's it. But that's it. If you can't see, they even closed the door. In the next building over, Tower 2 over there doesn't want to hear me talk. But it's great here. Frida, you could edit that out. You never know. But the great thing about this area is just the people. And Dave, you're awesome. Jane's awesome. Everybody I've met here in Fairview. The mayor I met over at Bill Smith's Cafe in McKinney one time. He was getting some breakfast over there. So. Everybody's really friendly, and let's go out and spread the good word.
Well, Mike, thank you so much. And listeners, thank you for listening. This has been another great episode of Getting Neighborly here in Fairview, Texas. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, asking that you subscribe, rate, and review our show. Let others know that you found it, that you love it, and help us spread the word. Until next time, make it a great day. Thank you for listening to this episode of Getting Neighborly in Fairview, Texas. If you're a business owner interested in calling Fairview home, contact our office by email at edc@fairviewtexas.org or visit us on the web at fairviewtexasedc.com. And if you're a resident and you know someone we should hear from, nominate them at fairviewtexasedc.com/neighbors.